Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning. Good morning. We here for market morning on January 19th. Friday, January 19th. We're here to see what we have to see. Right? See what the market's going to share with us on this OPEX day. I guess it's called OPEX, the third Friday, where a whole bunch of stuff expires at the same time. That's what happens on the third Friday of the month. SPX 500. Let's move this up to here and get us some screen sharing going on. Let me see, I got to put my slides in. Make sure we got some good slides. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Yeah, sing, sing, sing. That's always happens at people who go to family reunions and dance at the club. I think they bring that song out pretty steady. I think they bring that song out pretty regular. What y'all think? Screen 2, we're sharing. We should be able to see. This is what SPX has been doing over the last several hours. This is a 2-minute chart. So this is up here at 8:14 this morning. It's been dripping and dripping and dropping ever since then. We're at 47.93 right now. This is SPX 500, which allows us to watch the market on our watch SPX on our off times. Usually SPX can't be seen until the market opens. Hey, Lady T, good to see you. Yep, there usually the market doesn't, we can't see SPX until the market opens, but we can look at SPX 500 and we can see that a little early. Well, let's look to see what kinds of things we have going on right now. Well, the VIX is at 13. Yesterday we're talking about it was at 15, and then yesterday was at 14, and today we're in the 13s. So VIX going down means market is going up. I think we had a little bit of a quick jump yesterday evening. If we look at SPX and see what kind of exit did we have yesterday, let's put it on the 15-minute chart so we can see what happened. Did y'all notice how this volume on the last this last couple candles of the day, make it nuts? Something came out yesterday. If you know what happened, good morning, Facebook user. Got to tell me your name so I know who you are. You got to tell StreamYard, give StreamYard the ability to know your name. Around 1:30 must have been something that happened yesterday at 1:30 that let us all know, gave us a big run. Let me go see what the calendar showed yesterday at 1:30. Nothing happened at 1. Somebody said the CB or something CB came out yesterday, and I don't know what that was that came out, but at 1:30 the market started to move up. Okay, since I'm on this screen, I might as well go ahead and talk about what's happening today, Friday. WEF annual meetings, that's been all week. 10 o'clock, we've got preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Basically, they ask 500 people what they think about the economy, and they give answers, and that's a red folder. Don't know which 500 people, don't know what they ask them. Do they ask the same 500 people? Do we rotate? Is it a good mix of demographics? Like, I'm going to say hopefully they do. But anyway, existing home sales happens at 10 also. University of Michigan inflation expectations also happens at 10. All of this data, this is the red and orange folders. Then we have Tik long-term purchases at 4. These two things are happening after the market is closed, right? Let's look at what we got for the morning open. Well, we jumped up. We had a gap up this morning. We opened, it looks like, at 47.99. 47.99, and it's dropping a bit, coming back down just a taste since the open a minute ago, 1 minute ago. But we've got that going right now. I'm going to swing away from this, but remember we do our 15-minute gaps 15 minutes candles so we can see. I'm looking at the word gaps over here. 15-minute candles so that way we can see if there's a breakout that happens. If there's a breakout. I had sellers gaps mentioned or marked here. Trying to remember where. I know this was a seller's gap and then this one was, but looks like this one here, it's like it got filled yesterday on this run. That seller's gap, or part of it at least, got filled in. That was the gap from, and part of the gap below yesterday got filled also. So both of these gaps didn't really, this one didn't fill all the way. This was yesterday morning's gap. I think that was yesterday morning's gap. I think it was a seller's gap, but this looks like a buyer's gap. See if I'm missing something. And then we had this one here, but this almost filled as well. It's SPX. That was the gap from it. Gap down from Friday to Tuesday. Friday to Tuesday gap down. Part of it got filled here, but then the rest of it got filled. Well, another portion, not all of it, got filled. But now we've got, this is a buyer's gap now. So we got a little bitty seller's gap here, and then we can put a buyer's gap on top of it. Because now well, I don't know if I can put this candle just yet. This second candle hasn't finished forming yet. So I'm not going to put that there. We don't know. This first candle of today hasn't formed yet. So we don't know how much this gap, it may go ahead and fill while the market is open. Good morning, Lisa. It may go ahead and fill this first 15-minute candle. We don't know. All right. So we looked at the VIX. 1369 is where the VIX is. Looking at Yahoo Finance. Are you going to tell us anything? Yahoo Finance doesn't look like it. Let's move on. Well, you don't want to tell us anything either. Well, I need y'all to tell us something. Tell us something. Okay, here we go. The other markets. Now it's refreshing. Now you want to refresh. Which one? Stocks rise on Friday, putting the S&P 500 inches away from new record close. Jim Cramer's 10 things to watch in the stock market on Friday, why the JetBlue Spirit antitrust ruling doesn't spell doom for an Alaska-Hawaii merger. Apple $3,499 Vision Pro headset now available to order ahead of the February 2nd release. Ford cuts production of the F-150 Lightning EV, adds jobs at the Bronco and Ranger plant. I'm looking for me an electric or me a hybrid vehicle. I'd like to have me a hybrid something. I don't want full electric yet, I don't think. I want to be able to use gasoline just in case I don't get to a charger and whatever else, but I'm looking for a little something. Asia's got a mixed bag going. ASX, Nikkei, and Kospi are all in the green, over 1%. And Hang Seng and Shanghai is down about 0.5%. Taiwan leads gains in Asia market. Japan, December inflation at its lowest since June 22. Now, I wonder if the Taiwan leading, because Taiwan Semiconductors had earnings yesterday. And now we probably should go look and see what did their earnings look like. TSMC, I think that's Taiwan Semiconductors. Yep, Taiwan Semiconductors is there. Let me make sure I'm on the right internet feed, because this seems like, it should be. It was there last night, but my computer's taking a long time to fill in. Where are you, Taiwan Semiconductors? I need to reset the chart view. I don't think this is it. This is the manufacturing. So TSMC takes us to a different stock. You're going super slow there, Trading View. Come on. There we go. This was yesterday. This was there yesterday over here where my mouse is moving. Did a little bit of a dip and then a move up. pretty big. Thursday morning was where they had earnings, but it moved on up at the end of the day like everything else did. Something must have happened in the afternoon. Was there some announcement that happened yesterday afternoon? And then now this is where we are right now, is this candle hit lots. We got some pressure, some selling pressure, but they're not trying to go down. This is also at 1 o'clock. What happened yesterday at 1:30? Somebody got to do some research and come back and tell me what happened at the end of the day yesterday, that every SPX, that everything moved up like it did. Anybody have a clue? I know exactly what's going on, what's making it do this, by the way. So I'm gonna fix it because I know what's making it do that. Okay. Excuse me. We looked at the calendar. We saw what was there. Yep, we see what's going on in those. Alrighty, so let's go back to where we were. Close your SOXL yesterday for $1. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. Yes, ma'am. Earnings this morning. SLB had earnings this morning. And you see who else this is here. Huntington had earnings this morning. Fifth Third Bank, Allied Travelers, Region, State Street, Comerica, and the World Acceptance Corporation. That's an acceptance. That's who had earnings this morning. Those are the people who had earnings on this here Merton. Let's look at Adam's numbers. Adam Mancini, we get these numbers off of Twitter. It's where he is. He's a level-to-level buyer of options. We're sellers, but we can use these levels to help us, right? So he said yesterday, big follow-through for SPX. Yesterday, 47.55 reclaim was a long trigger with 48.13 target. This actually should say something else. That 48.13 shouldn't be 48.13. We need we gotta fix all the numbers. Remove from the screen. Moving slow, buddy. Are we removed? Yes, we are. Okay, now I need to add us back to the stage. Back to the stage. Coming back to the stage. No, I need you on the full stage. There we go. They're waiting on you. You're center stage. Oh, I left that one off too. Didn't mean to skip those two. The gap between SPX and ES is 30. So 47.83 should be here. And 4800 should be here. So I'll just read it from here. Okay. Big follow through for SPX yesterday. Hope we can all see that. Let's make it as big as we can. Ooh, that got bigger, didn't it? Big follow through for SPX yesterday. 47.55 reclaim was a long trigger with 47.83 at a target. Cool off spot before 4,800. Above there, we start the next 100 plus point breakout leg at 48.08. The plan today, we hold the runners. Hold on to your runners. If you've got something running up, you hold your runners. As long as 47.95 to 4,800 and 48.09 to 42. As long as you got greater than 47.95 to 4,800, you can get to 48.09, 48.12. Then you're going to have a dip up to 48.30 next. If you're a level-to-level buyer on SPX, this is what we got here. If 47.95 fails, then so does the breakout. Okay, so if you're trading XSP, you've got 483 on the call side, going up to as high as 483 and maybe further, but you want to look in that area, and coming down to 479 if you're on the put side. That's if this 479 fails like he says here. All right, that's what that's all about. That's what that's all about. All righty, taking this down because I want us to go look back at, not there. Need to move you into place too. Got to move everything into place. We want SPX. Want to see what's going on with that first 15-minute candle. Anytime you have Thinkorswim running and you have that trading view running, it can slow down your computer. And that's because they're both taking a lot of data to keep the information in real time. And I had Thinkorswim running and I had trading view running. So basically I'm asking it to keep two full platforms basically running full stream ahead, and it's asking for a lot. That's just asking for a lot. This is our first candle going. We opened up. Come on, we're trying to get it to a good size so everybody can comfortably see. There we go. We opened with a gap up. We gapped up as high as this 47.99. 47.99, I think I said. The open 47.96. It shows an open on SPX. And it came down. It's coming down now to fill that gap that was originally from the open. We're going to put our 15-minute lines on here in a second. Right? So we can see, we can move this one. So we know when the breakout happens. You know, in our community, we use the breakout strategy. When it breaks out in the morning, we use that. If it breaks out of the 15-minute candle, then we start to look at what trades we can do outside of that breakout. If it breaks out going up, we do put credit spread. If it breaks out going down, we do a call credit spread. But we're sellers over here. If you first time being introduced to me, I'm Arlissa. I am Educator to Trader, and I'm also the head coach at Educator to Trader, which is a full community of trading folks. I don't know if I should have put this red on just yet. We're not quite at 9:45, but we're close by. We'll see. We'll leave it right there for a minute. For un minuto. Okay. Listen, I wanted to share with you something. Every weekend, I put up this, I do a graphic with some trade ideas on it, right? Every weekend I do this graphic with some trade ideas. I look to see if it's, good trades. I check, support and resistance. Of course, we're doing this as sellers because we're sellers. Yes. And I looked this morning to see which of these trades are good or currently good. The person could have closed by now or could potentially close today. And in the cash secure puts area, we got 2 out of 5 that are good. Hut and Riot, those are being, I hesitate to use the word manipulated, but I believe the crypto Bitcoin related stuff right now is under fire because people want folks to get out of it so they can go buy it up. That's what that's all about. So I'm calling it manipulated from that. Some people want to shake you out so that way you can let go. And then when you let it go, they can pick it up. Okay. Now, Save, on the other hand, this is Spirit Airlines. And I guess that antitrust thing with Spirit and some other airline went south and they tanked, right? I had 14. They were, of course, above this. And now they're down in the 7s, I think. So TZA, Upstart, those two are doing well. So 2 out of 5 this week. But down here, I'm most proud of the credit spreads. 16 of these 18 credit spread suggestions, because that's what these are, suggestions. 16 of the 18 are good. XLK, which is technology, has moved on up. I think it's at a price at 197. So it's a little bit above this 196 price. And this is a call credit spread. So that means we're thinking price will stay below there. And NVIDIA is up at 580 or something like that. I think it's up almost to 600 now. Anybody riding that NVIDIA train, if you're riding it up, you should be making a few dollars. But that 16 out of the 18 are good trades. Can we clap it up? We can clap it up because these are good numbers. These are good numbers. If you use some of these, or looked at these to see if you were could do these trades, you're in good shape. And this leads us right into our small account challenge. We're doing our small account challenge starting February the 5th, and we're going to use credit spreads to grow a small account. You can start with as little as $100. Of course, you can start with more, because the more you start with, the more you look to earn. But you look to earn about 10% each week based on your, what you're using for your collateral. Because you don't buy anything. We're sellers, so we don't buy anything when we're entering these trades. We get paid to trade. That's what sellers do. Sellers get paid to trade. And if you want to join the small account challenge, you just need to go over to the website, to my website, educator to trader. You can do .com. I need to type it all out here because Facebook tripping, but educatortotrader.com, and it's the first icon there. You can get yourself all signed up into the small account challenge for $97 for the month of February, right? We're going to do the whole month. We're going to do credit spreads. We're going to grow our accounts by 10% each week, depending on how much money you're using. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Woo woo, clap it up. We got 16 out of 18 of those trades are good, good, good. All right. Let's add this back to the stage. We're going back to our SPX. Going back to XPX. Thank you, Lady T. Appreciate that. Come on, let me move. There we go. Let me move you. Okay, so that's our window for the first 15-minute candle. We'll wait to see if there's a breakout in either direction, but the gap from the morning is almost filled. It's almost filled. 10 o'clock is the time you want to be looking at, because the 10 o'clock turnaround is real. Okay, it is real. Okay, so we got our Yahoo Finance taken care of. We looked at the other markets. We got that taken. Oh, did we look at Europe? Europe is mostly red. It's got the FTSE is green by 0.15%, but it's mostly red. That's a European market over there. Today, though, is OPEX day. OPEX being the day that the weekly options expire, monthly options are expiring. I believe there's some bonds that expire. All that stuff happens today. So sometimes, there's a lot of volatility that can be expected when you're in the situation of this third Friday, right? So you want to trade wisely. You want to trade wisely when you're on the third Friday. Okay, definitely so. Was thinking about something, and then the thought just exited my brain. It exited my brain. I'm trying to think of what I was thinking of. Where did my mind just go? I don't know where it went. Okay, well, let's go look at some more charts. Let's do that. Now, if you're dealing with the NVIDIA, if you're working with semiconductors and such, you've got several to choose from. You don't have to run with NVIDIA, because you've got AMD, which is going to move in this same space. NVIDIA is right now at 576, but you've got AMD, which runs in this same circle, right? We've got SOXL, which is ETF, and ETF that is made up of NVIDIA, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, yada, 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 right? You've got that. So you can use AMD. You can do SOXL. right? Taiwan Semiconductors. You can do that. You got choices. You got choices, okay? So if you're trying to trade in the semiconductor space, and you don't want to trade up as high as the big boy, you know, I said NVIDIA is at 476 right now. Well, AMD is at $164, and I want to say SOXL is at $30. SOXL is an ETF, and it's at 32 and some change. Yeah. It's at 32 and some change. You can buy some shares if you wanted. You can trade the options for much cheaper if you wanted. Do some put credit spreads, call credits, probably put credit spreads on these because they're at this point seem to be climbing pretty steady. So you want to do put credit spreads on those. Okay. That's the semiconductor space. I've been looking at though INTC. Anybody else watching INTC? Those of you who have trades going for the week should have been able to close almost everything. If you got a trade that you're struggling with, that you wrestling with, put it in the chat so we can look at it. Put it in the chat so we can look at it. The one I'm waiting for at this point, I'm waiting for Carvana to do something or other so I can decide. You all heard me talking about Carvana last week, and I rolled it. I rolled Carvana out to this week, and now it's right between my strikes. So I've been giving it time to do its thing, but it's taking its own little sweet time to do it. And INTC is at 47. Let's see if there's sometimes I look on Fridays to see what will be a good trade for the subsequent week. Because if you can get in sometimes on Fridays with a good trade, it can close on Monday or Tuesday, but you can get higher premiums because you're going to the next week's expiration. Well, I see that INTC is definitely got on an upwards ride here. And we've got some support in the area right here with the 45 area. There's support right here at 45. And if you want to go lower, there's support at 41. I wouldn't want to go that low. There's another one at 43. So let's see if we were to go to, let's go out 1 week. Let's go out to the 26th. If we were looking down at our probability out of the money, right, we're at 44.5 or 44. 44 is 75% probability out of the money. So let's switch over to vertical and see if 43, 44, actually 43.5, 44 for next week is paying $11. And if you want to make it, that's a 50-cent spread. So you're going to leveraging $50 in order to make 11. You can spread it to a one spread, a full $100. And then you can leverage $100 in order to collect premiums of $20. It's a 20% return. That's a 20% return on your investment. It's a 20% return on your investment. 20% return. We'll go with it, huh? What you think? 21%, pay $1 in fees. That'll work. That'll work. What else did I say we was going to look at? Oh, Carvana. See what Carvana doing up here. I'll go back to SOXL in 1 second. Good morning. Let's see if INTC has earnings. We want to be careful about that. Yep, Carvana can't seem to hold up. I needed to jump a few more dollars, but it's got $1 and some change for today. We'll see. Let's see when Intel has earnings. Is INTC over here on my list? I don't think it is. I will remain confident in this. INTC. Okay, let's save this and then let's see when the earnings is. 125. Yep, that's going to be next week. Good point, Lady T. We want to make sure we don't want to trade it in earnings. So we'd have to go, the 26th is next Friday. Now you could potentially trade it and make sure that you close it before the earnings call happens. You could do that. You could trade it and close before earnings. Earnings is going to be next Friday. Earnings start is going to be next Thursday. So if you're going to trade it, you need to trade it and close it up before the earnings call actually happened. Good point. You always want to check those kind of things because those are called binary events. When a binary event happens, it can throw off. Credit spreads aren't for huge volatility. They're not for that. When you have a strong, but the only thing is with earnings, you don't really know if it's going one way or the other. So, I mean, you can guess, which is really all you'd be doing is guessing. But you have to, when you're doing, you want to have a better idea of what direction we might be going in if you're going to do earnings. And you can't really predict it. Can't really predict that. Okay, so we're at the 10 o'clock window. Looks like it hasn't, we haven't broken out of here at this point. We're still working on the breakout, which my community, I always tell us to make sure that you don't jump into these trades too fast. Make sure that you're clear on some type of direction before you jump in, because as a seller, we don't have to rush into the fray. We can watch and see what happens. And if you do decide you want to go in a little earlier, you can go in and do the use your PDT hack to make sure that you locking in your trades to keep yourself, keep your stuff safe. You can do that, but definitely don't run in here if you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, have y'all looked at the new PeakBot layout? Y'all know I use PeakBot as my automated trader, and PeakBot has a new layout. Let me show it to y'all because it's nice. Got a little bit of new layout here. It's nice. Bring that back up. Use peakbot.com. Use peakbot.com. They got a new layout for the watch list. They are offering, PeakBot is offering a 14-day trial. So you can get in here and check, see what the automated bot can do for you too. Question in the comments is, can cash account trade credit spreads? No, they cannot. Cash accounts can trade cash secure puts. Cash accounts can do buying, buying options, buying calls and puts, and cash secure puts. You can't do credit spreads. You got to be in a margin account for cash secure puts. For credit spreads. If you need some assistance with opening up a margin account, if you let me know, I'll maybe be able to give you some guidance that can help you in that area. Use people. I just opened up or just clicked on the watch list so you can see how it's got some differences going. Did I put that in my comments? Use peakbot.com. I use them every week for my call credit spreads. This don't seem like it's the new one. Oh, yes, it is. They moved the columns. But I use it every week for credit spreads. You pick the stock, and PeakBot or the bot does the entry of the trade. It enters the sell leg of a put. It sells the puts. It's called the wheel in PeakBot. So you sell the put at the 30 delta leg, and then you buy the put at the 10 delta leg. But you pick the stock you want. What I like that they've updated here on the list is they've given you the stock here, whether the trend is bullish or bearish. What is your risk level? This right here, these two columns here are new. What's the bullish or the trend risk level? Then they talk about what your max loss could be and then what your net premiums could be. You got your returns here based on what you're doing there, right? So they got you an earnings date here. They tell you that you're going to sell a put at the 30 delta, buy a put at the 10 delta. And if you end up getting assigned the shares, so that's because the price at the end of if you let it expire, then the bot will automatically, the subsequent week, the bot will sell a covered call for you. It's going to sell a covered call at the 50 delta and buy that call at the 20 delta. Okay. So if you end up with the shares, the bot will do the other side for you. No, it doesn't, Michelle. Michelle says for credit spreads, does your account have to be 5K or more? No, not on I don't know what Charles Schwab is doing. So if you were with Thinkorswim, you just had to have the amount of money, right? And I think Charles Schwab may be a little bit different, but in Robinhood, you don't either. So you got Robinhood, you just have to really have to have a margin account and enough money to cover your trades because they'll just use your money basically. And Thinkorswim, there was no minimum there. Webull, I don't know anything about Webull. Now, Charles Schwab is different. I don't know what their guidelines are, but I believe people who came over from Thinkorswim or came over from TD Ameritrade were like grandfathered in with the TD Ameritrade guidelines. But if people are coming to open a new account there, they may have guidelines for you if you're opening a new account with them. But, I still have TD Ameritrade, and that's not the guidelines for you for my margin account. So, but yeah, so you can pick the one what you like here, which stock you like. Watch your trend and see about how the risk level is that you're comfortable with, and this goes on and on. This is ON Semiconductor. I never even heard of them, but they're bearish. If you're doing put credit spreads or cash secure puts, you really want to get something that's bullish or neutral. Right? You want to pick something that's bullish or neutral. You don't necessarily want to pick a bearish stock if you're selling puts because you're expecting the price to be up, to go up, or at least to stay up. Okay. So I think this is a great change. This is a great upgrade for PeakBot. And again, PeakBot connects to Thinkorswim. I was going to say TD Ameritrade, but it attached to Thinkorswim and Tradier. Now, Tradier is not anything I know anything about. I don't know anything about Tradier, but they are a broker as well. I still use Thinkorswim, and my PeakBot attaches to my Thinkorswim, and I select the stock. The bot enters the trade, and it doesn't do anything else. The trade is set to expire worthless, but of course, you can close it yourself whenever you're ready. You still have complete control over everything that's happening in your platform. The bot does not take over anything. Okay, don't be worried that the bots are going to come in and take over anything or take your money. None of that stuff's happening. All right, the bot is only entering the trade on Monday or Tuesday, and it's leaving it to run for the rest of the week. Now they've got the wheel, they've got the Iron Condor. Iron Condor includes SPY and Triple Q, and then they have momentum, which is shares, but they don't really do. I think if you're new, you don't go into the momentum because they're not focusing their energies there. Michelle said, I guess I wasn't grandfathered in then. I haven't been able to trade spreads. Did you already have TD Ameritrade, Michelle? Because if you already had that and you changed and you swung over to Schwab, it should have went with you. It should have gone with you. Right? Use PeakBot. Again, if you go over there and you decide you're going to sign up for a trial, make sure that you mention that Educator to Trader sent you. Okay, make sure that you tell them that I sent you when you go over there and get a trial. That is so weird, Michelle. I'm not sure what's up with that. Not sure what's up with that. Let's see if we can go back to Thinkorswim. We're still in SPX is still hanging out in here. Maybe a little bit of a chill start because people are, adjusting their positions or all. But listen, your patience is going to matter. Do not rush trades, right? I trade spreads in Robinhood too. And Michelle, you can as well. Robinhood is a good place for spreads, especially because their fees are, super cheap. Where the only thing you can't do in Robinhood is you can't trade SPX and you can't trade XSP. You can't trade SPX and XSP. You can only do the stocks that have shares there. They don't have any of the cash settled. But I use Robinhood for other things too. I like Robinhood because they do have some benefits. Customer service ain't one of them. Customer service is not one of their benefits. So if you need customer service a lot, then Robinhood may not be the place. You want to trade with over there if you know you're doing something that's not going to require a lot of intervention from the broker, because the customer service over there is virtually non-existent, right? I think you have to do it through email or through a chat. I don't think you get to talk to anybody, which I have to say TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim's customer service is A1, baby. A1 at Thinkorswim. I had another broker before. You'd call for customer service and the person would talk to you. They'd be huffing and puffing and talking all impatient. Excuse me. We are talking about my money. You're not going to act like you impatient and act like you all flustered because somebody calling you to ask questions. And that was not just me. There were several people who were saying that was happening. So it wasn't like it was a one-off, right? Bro, if customer service ain't your thing, you might need to go and get you another job. Lady T says, I have a small account and I trade spreads in Robinhood. Well, we don't have any other trades we're looking at this morning. I got some stuff I'm trying to get closed up. Oh, I want that back up. Trying to get some stuff closed up. Oh, yep. Well, my IBB right here is trying to close and it's actually worth $0. I was going to close it for $1. So I guess it'll have to sit. I have two other things. I have my TZA. I have it set to close for $1. It's currently at $2. So it's going to close here soon enough. It's working. And my XLB call credit spread, which I got off the list. I thought I put $1 in here, but it says the current price is $2. So it's going to close soon enough as well. That's the way all of these are doing. Those are my 3 left. And then I got to contend with Carvana. Me and Carvana got to see what we're going to do here. I may end up rolling it. Rolling it is nothing more than basically closing a trade and opening another one. That's what rolling is. We're like, I'll just roll it. Yeah, you're closing a trade and opening another trade. So just know that's what's happening there. Okay. That's what's happening there. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Más preguntas? Well, something just closed. Looks like the XLB, it just closed. Thank you. We've had good credit spread closures for this week. All the credit spreads been profitable except this Carvana, which is going to have to be moved again and going to have to contend with it. But all the other trades I did this week, let's see, where's my paper? So I can show y'all what I did this week. I did XLB, not too many. I had some other outside of market things. I need to make sure that you are trading when you're not distracted and not got something else on your brain. So I didn't do a lot of trading this week because I was focused on something else. But I've got, I did TQQQ, which I did that through PeakBot. TQQQ was my PeakBot trade. I've been doing TQQQ for several weeks. Amazon, I did this week a put credit spread. I did SOXL put credit spread, TZA put credit spread. That's the one that I think is trying to close up there now. XLB credit spread I did. That one just closed, I believe, for $1. Yep. And I did a 50-cent spread. If you're doing 50-cent spread, then that's only using $50 of collateral. 50-cent spread is using $50 of collateral. Lady T, did you put in an order to close this morning or at the time? I put it in this morning, Lady T, but I put them in sometimes along the way. and I just put a previous order in and then let it sit and work like it's doing now. The reason I like to let it work is because I can see, like I can look at one place and see how close it is to closing. Like this right here, it's worth nothing. So I'm actually willing to pay $1 for it to close, but it's worth nothing. So you can't close when it's not worth anything. You can't really do anything with that. And then this one, I put in $1, but it's currently at $3. So I can look here and see how far it is before it closes. Jamie says Robinhood customer service is 10 steps below whatever anybody's worst customer service experience has been. I can tell they don't charge fees for trades because that customer service runs like it. Customer service runs like we're not taking in any money. You get what you get over here, buddy. We're not taking in any money, so you get what you get in customer service. I thought their customer service would like pick up after they went public, because I feel like they then put in the rules for day trading rules, and they did other stuff. Like, why didn't you start getting? And they started putting in fees because their fees are still very low. But they did anyway, I think the fees were in there before. They just weren't transparent about it. They were mixed in. Now there are fees that as you do the trade, you can see it's like 6 cents. I mean, it's super cheap, but they do still have fees. Yep, they do still have some fees. Okay, Patrick says, can you start the wheel strategy with the covered call, or does it have to? You can start with the covered call, Patrick. If you have 100 shares of something, you can start the wheel with covered call. Absolutely. Hey, Tanya, you definitely can start it with the covered call. I have some things in Robinhood. I've got some 100 shares of stuff like, I think I had like BT. I have 100 shares of that. I got 100 shares of like Fuel Sale, and I won't talk about the EOSE I have in Robinhood because it's I can still do a covered call, but that's frustrating. EOSE is just kind of frustrating. But yes, you can start with the covered call, Patrick. That was the short answer to your question, even though I went the long way around. I took the long way home. Took the long way home. We're supposed to be on SPX. If you're looking at some trades for next week on today, I want you to wait until the afternoon before you really enter any of those. You want to wait and see what the morning shakes out like, and then see what kind of trade. If you want to pick a credit spread today for next Friday, you wait till the afternoon. Maybe it could be early afternoon, but you want to wait and see what the morning ends up doing. Which you see our morning on SPX is looking like some consolidation, but you already know it's just going to languish in here, pew, 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 then it's going to jump out. It's going to go one way or the other. It's going to go one way or the other. Is Tamar here? Tamar, are you here? Tamar shared something yesterday, and I had to go back and look at the comments because she made a comment about which chart she looks at when she's entering spreads. And I wanted to, I glanced at it and then I forgot to come back to it. Okay. Well, if you're hanging out with us, please be sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. All right. Make sure you put your bell on, ding, ding. So when I go live, you can see what we're doing. I've been doing this morning call for the past 2 weeks. I've been enjoying YouTube. What I don't like about YouTube is I can't hear anybody talks back to me. I have to hear people in the chat. When I do it in Zoom, the people we can talk, we can be a conversation. So I'm kind of missing that. I'm kind of missing the one side piece. But you know what? I believe that if we're in the YouTube land, we're giving. There's some people who are here watching who are just getting exposed to me, and I really want more people to be exposed to Educator to Trader and to what we do, and to selling options and to all the stuff that we do. I believe selling options. I am a little bit biased, but I, in my experienced opinion, feel like selling is a better place to be than buying of options. Okay. Our membership, though, includes the morning calls, includes a Wednesday night training session. Ours it was last night because we missed Wednesday. We went over cash secure puts last night, and we learn the strategies and answer the questions and all the little things. You have a community. And then we have a monthly coaching call where we talk strategies as well on whatever topics we need. We determine that the group leads. Marion says, I like your bias. Yeah, I'm definitely biased to selling. I'm surely biased to selling. Then we have a Telegram group where it's an exclusive Telegram group for just the members, where we're there communicating. People are talking about their trades, we're asking questions and sharing their results, and it's really a supportive community. You can go and find that on my website, educatortotrader.com. It's $97 a month. Believe me, you definitely get more than what the $97 is worth, but you can determine that for yourself. If you only want to continue doing the morning calls, you can get in the membership on YouTube and do the booster level and just see the morning calls. I want to say it's $34.99, right? So but you're only going to get the morning call with that. It won't be long, maybe another week or so. I have to see how much longer I want to do the available to the world in the mornings, but I'm enjoying the calls with you all in the mornings, and you all seem to be very flexible with my time constraints, because Monday and Wednesday I'm free at certain times, and Tuesday and Thursday I'm free at different times. So we making it work in here. Good thing about being a seller is we don't necessarily have to be at the open. You don't have, as a seller, you don't have to be at the open, because we're waiting to see what stuff is going to do. So once it's settled down, once all the stuff settles down, then we enter our trade. So being at the open is something we're doing, but we don't have to be here at the open, right? So don't forget, we're going left this year. Lean into one or two strategies, educating ourselves, right? That maybe the small account challenge we talked about a little earlier, maybe some other courses. I've got the courses to go along with everything I talk about. Cash secure puts, cover calls, selling credit spreads. Actually, I've got a course on debit spreads, which is a buying strategy, but I still have a course on it. Short selling. Just if you're brand new to options, you might want to consider doing options 411. If you're an options newbie, you might want to grab options 411, right? You can go to my website and find it. But you can do options. That way you learn about the basics of options, terminology, and get yourself on the road to doing your options there. All right. Then we're going to focus on our fundamentals, and we're trading with the plan. We got to have a trading plan. I've got a YouTube video on trading plan. I also have a resource on my website for trading plans as well. But you need a plan. You need a plan. All right. I'm taking us into we're landing the plane, as they say. We're ready for our E2T Traders Declaration. Ready for our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account is growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions, right? We're not trading our emotions. Our prayer, Lord, it is you who gives us the power to get wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need, and we can be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. Okay. Well, SPX is still hanging out within those two candles. If you're SPXing or XSPing, you definitely want to wait till you get a breakout in one of those areas to make that move. Other trades, if you're doing credit spreads for next week, try to wait till the afternoon, right? I want you to know that we do two things here. Boom, 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 boom. We stay green and we get this money. All right. I want you all to have a good green day. Have a great green day. If I don't see you, then make sure you have a good weekend. But many of us are doing the Chart Your Way to 100K tomorrow. We're on the third week of Chart Your Way to 100K. That has been really good. Really good. You said my upper leg breached on SPX by 19 cents. Oh my goodness. That was yesterday or today, Tanya? 19 cents. 19 cents still won't cost you that much money. It shouldn't be too much of a loss. It definitely won't be max loss. But we're doing Chart Your Way to 100K week 3. Tomorrow we're focusing on indicators. Oh, that was yesterday. 19 cents should have still only had a small loss. Yeah. So, yep. But we're doing that. We're doing indicators. We're going to do MACD, RSI, Bollinger Bands, and moving averages is on our list for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. All righty. I'm going to tell you all goodbye. I want you to have a good day, good green day, and I will see you in the market. All right. Bye, everyone. Goodbye.